makes an entrance. Her mouth is full of questions. Are we all brides to be? Are we all designed to be confined by ourselves? Chastity belts and lock them. Organize our lives and lose the key. Our faces all resemble dying roses from trying to fix it. Trying to fix it. Trying to fix it. When instead we should break it. We've got to break it before it breaks us. Fear of pretty houses and their porches. Fear of biological wristwatches. Fear of comparison shopping. Dogs on a leash. Buy this car to drive to work. Drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work. Drive to work.
Thank God for subscribers. Our microphones were off. You know what? This is propaganda's fault because I muted everything to play Officer Bubbles.
Huh.
Anyways, this is the Yellow Brick Road. Do the intro again. I'm Jordan, this is James, and tonight we're going to be talking about the DNC new rules for making the debate stage. Also, is healthcare a human right? Tim Pool doesn't think so. It might be a quiet way to say, don't vote for Bernie Sanders. I'm thinking it might be that. Thank you, Ruben, for telling us the mics are off. I see other people do that, and I'm like, I'll never do that. I have too much OCD. Then I realized I'm just like everyone else. Please donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Please donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is down there. You know, right below where it says support Devon's Journey here.
Don't tell them.
Right under there it says there's a GoFundMe link right there. You just click on it, you make a donation. Because we don't have free healthcare in life. And healthcare is not a right.
Fuck out of here.
That's Tim Pool, not me. Ruben says, anyway, your most hated regular commentator is here. Commenter is here.
Oh, is he?
I don't know. I see Muay Thai right there. You knew you were on mute because you were telling each other how much you love each other.
Yo, give me a hug, man. Not you. You afraid?
And Muay Thai wants a GoFundMe link.
Huh?
All right, so let's move into our first story here. The DNC has changed the rules for the 2020 Democratic debates, and how, there's so many people running. Apparently, they figured a way to, whittle it down, and it might be unfair. I'm not sure. Let's figure it out. Okay, hopefully my mic's still working. This is from Fox News. Let's see. DNC ups thresholds for upcoming primary debates, making it harder for candidates to qualify. There's all those fucking candidates. Some don't belong there, let's be honest here. Fuck. I don't want to make fun of that guy.
Oh no, I'm doing something completely else.
Ah, all right.
It's like when two guys go like this, like they're like nodding and for like this, like, oh, you guys think you guys think you can fuck us up? Yeah, we do.
All right, so it says the Democratic National Committee is making it more difficult for presidential candidates to qualify for the third and fourth round of primary debates. The doubling of the thresholds comes as some of the White House hopefuls still gunning to make the first and second rounds of debates, being held in late June and late July, are criticizing the DNC's mandates to make the debate stage. They say it's not the National Party Committee's job to be winnowing the field. I might be saying that wrong.
Winnowing.
Winnowing?
Why?
Whatever. Shortening the field so early in the race. Yeah, it's going to come off as unfair, but, I think there's candidates like you legitimately do not belong here. No one's voting for you. Any polling you're getting is probably from your extended family. Yeah. You have no unique policies. You're either that moderate Democrat that's going to have Biden-like policy, or you're copying off of Bernie Sanders, or at least talking as if you're copying off of Bernie Sanders. So let's go through what the new rules are. Motherfucker. That's good enough. The DNC announced on Wednesday that to qualify for the third round of debates, which they say will be held on September 12th and 13th, candidates must receive 2% or more support in at least 4 national or early voting state polls recognized by the National Party. The threshold for the first 2 rounds of debates is 1% in 3 polls. So these are National Party recognized, as in, I would say DNC recognized. See how these are like little ways for these giant, these giant organizations to have control over what's happening. Sort of reminds me of like super delegates.
This is why some people have no fucking hope. Like, yeah, Bernie would win, but they're gonna cheat him. Fuck it.
I mean, yeah.
Even if it wasn't him, they'll do shit like this. We changed the rules. Now you have to have this many.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm finally 6 foot. Sorry, you have to be 6'3" to ride. Sorry. It's like,
sorry,
fuck you.
I'll say this outright.
Mm-hmm.
I am not voting.
Me either.
I am not donating.
Me either.
But I recognize Tulsi Gabbard as the best candidate on paper out of everyone in every party that are like either in government now or running in this presidential race, who's like somewhere near made the threshold. She's the most legitimate candidate to me. So my conspiracy mind goes off when you see all these names start jumping in here, and she's already getting smeared more than anyone else. I think that's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're using YouTubers to smear her. It seems pretty obvious to me. They don't want her in here at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll actually read some of the responses from the other guys who are lower down in the polls and who are not getting as much donations. They don't think, I don't know, they sound kind of all right with this. But, you know, they're dying to be president, aren't they? You know, they're just joining for publicity. That's why. All right, here's the second paragraph. To make the third and fourth round, which the DNC says will be held in October, candidates must also receive contributions from a minimum 130,000 unique donors, as well as 400 unique donors in at least 20 states. The 130,000 threshold is double the 65,000 needed to make the debate stage at the first 2 rounds. And the 400 donors in each state is double the 200 currently needed. Okay, so I believe she's good. Tulsi is good for the first 2 rounds of debates. And we're going to bring up a bigger point. Neath the endeth.
They pouring in.
Yeah. You see me coming, they hate it. The DNC's mandating that the candidates clear both the polling and donor thresholds is a switch from the first 2 rounds when the contenders only had to hit one of the criteria. Okay, so you need both. You need the 65,000, right? I believe so. So the first 2 rounds, you need the polling, and it's going to be DNC picked polls, and you're going to need the 65,000. All right. So I just want to read some of this. Yeah. I need to learn how to highlight better. I'm just trash at this. There we go. Lesser known candidates express displeasure at the changes. I don't think the DNC should be winnowing the field early in the process, Senator Michael Bennet told Fox News on Tuesday as he was campaigning in the first in the nation primary state of New Hampshire. Bennet, whose entry into the race was delayed as he underwent cancer surgery in early spring, appeared to take a jab at the DNC, saying, "I hope the metrics that they picked put the strongest candidates on the debate stage." Now, Mr. Bennet, I think you recognize you're not one of the best candidates. And also, it's weird, like, you just underwent cancer surgery, and now you're jumping in a presidential race. That's also interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just suspicious of all of this.
Well, I think it's healthy to be suspicious of everything, you know, especially when you take into account of what's been happening
And
within the last 10 years, you could say. So.
And I think the goal is to knock Bernie down, but the bonus is to completely get rid of Tulsi Gabbard. So if we, once again, I'm part conspiracy theorist, I throw that out there. If we start seeing these random polls come out and whatever, some other guys, Hickenlooper's polling at 2% all of a sudden, and Tulsi's at like 0.5 or not even registering, it's like, Not an expert, guys, just saying. So Michael Bennett's concerns are echoed by a rival, Representative Tim Ryan of Ohio, who was also campaigning in Granite State. To start winnowing the field this early in the process, I think it isn't the best way to go about doing it, because you need a chance for the American people to see you, he told Fox News. Well, you want to be seen in the right way. You don't want to get Bernie smeared or Tulsi smeared. Or Mike Gravel smeared.
Oh, that
He's
guy.
been smeared too.
That guy's
But
not going to...
they're willing to just not give him so much attention.
Oh, you don't want to?
Like, he's getting momentum. Let's smear him a little bit here and then never mention him again.
Yeah. Pretend he doesn't exist.
Yeah. It's probably a little premature to start cutting people off, but it is what it is. The rules are what they are. I'm not going to complain about them, Tim Ryan added. It is what it is. I did my job. I flooded the field. I did my job.
Snake in the grass.
Former Representative John Delaney. Well, to be fair, these guys could have advisors, you know, little, almost like spies, spy type people going in and be like, you have a chance. You should run. You can come out of nowhere. You're the
Or
one.
just shake a bag of cash in front of him. Do it.
Get your name out there. Former Representative John Delaney of Maryland, in a letter, urged DNC Chair Tom Perez to disclose the process you engaged in to determine the criteria. Delaney stressed that the American people deserve a full and inclusive debate. Now, I'm wondering if these guys are pretend being pissed off or pretend they disagree. I don't know. Create some parody there.
That's very possible.
Once again, conspiracy theories. I'm not going to be your typical expert. I'm just going to be me, Jordan. That's what I do. You can't even see me right now, but I'm being me. Promise you.
They can't?
Nah.
Oh, they see the highlight.
You see the article.
You could just do what Tim Pool does and just use his mouse and talk like this. But you know.
But longtime New Hampshire Democratic Party chair Ray Buckley, who served for years as a DNC vice chair, had a message for the candidates. If they believe they have a better plan other than having 3 back-to-back debates each month with 9 of the candidates at each, I'd be interested in hearing it. The DNC also announced on Wednesday that ABC News, in partnership with Univision, will host the 3rd round of debates. How about you take whoever wants to run, create a low, semi-low threshold, and run debate after debate after debate all fucking day long. You act like this isn't important. You're acting like this is just a contest. And you're making rules for like the fucking NCAA tournament. Like, no. These guys, like, this person has a finger near the fucking button.
Yeah.
Isn't that what this vote is about? What the freak?
It's literally like Zion Williams is about to be in the finals for like some sort of like NCAA tournament. And they go, actually, listen, you no players can be above 6'3". We'll win now.
I know.
Be safe.
This is ridiculous. Like,
No dunking.
you should have like almost like a year straight of, okay, twice a week we do debates. Really flesh out all your ideas. Lay it down schematically for me. We're going to have experts to call you out if you're lying to us. On and on and so. You're like, either it's important or it's not, guys. What are we doing here? Either this is very important or it's not. If you have a rigorous debate stage, a rigorous debate process, rigorous research on all the topics brought up and all the policy brought up, you wouldn't have Trump here. You wouldn't have Obama here unless he just lied to you. I think he's smart enough to get away with it, but he'd have to lie.
I don't think you can get away with it in the end.
Yeah.
It's like these guys aren't smart, man. They're just clever, you know.
Fuck.
What was that? Oh,
My wacky tobacco. All right. So yeah. She should be good for the first 2 debates. And this is the bigger story here. Since I think she'll be good for the first 2 debates, Tulsi Gabbard, who I think is the best candidate. I'm not telling anyone to vote for her. I'm not telling anyone to donate to her. I mean, if you're into politics, I think you should. Because she's the best candidate. But I'm not doing it. I'm not voting. I'm not donating. I'm just being as blatantly honest as I possibly can. I think she's the best candidate.
I already did a video on why we don't vote. So.
And I'm not just going off of policy. I also don't think she's a fucking creeper either. Just the eye test.
I just don't know. I don't know.
Let's put it this way. We were just talking about this. If I had her in a one-on-one situation, I'd do everything possible to wreck her shit. All her ideas, not in a sexual way. Verbally, yes.
It's okay.
Anyways, I would do everything I can to push back on any idea that I thought there was wiggle room for shittiness to happen. But with that being said, I do understand people are going to go vote. They're going to pick candidates. They're going to donate. They're going to hoorah for their team. And yeah. So with all that said, what Tulsi needs to do, because I'm sure there's a lot of supporters, especially in the social media realm, what she needs to do in these first two debates is scorch the fucking earth. Like, shit we haven't even heard her say before. The things she said, yeah, but the guys on stage they're not stupid. They've heard the things she said, and they're going to have counters for it, and they're going to have smears for it. So she's going to have to go in certain directions where no one else is fucking going. And I don't mean, who was it? Oh, it was Tim Pool. I don't mean Tim Pool as in become the bad guy.
Yeah, fuck
He'll
all
get
that
more
shit.
press.
Fuck that pro wrestling. He's dumbass. The one thing I like to really see is what I saw from Gravel back in 2007.
8. Oh yeah, 7, but
in those primary, were they?
Primary.
In those primary debates where he was like being asked a question that he didn't really want to talk about. So what he did was he like in the end though it does, let's say something about like what are you gonna do about the, what do you call it? What's it called, dude? We owe money.
Debt.
Yeah, the debt. Well, we would have money for the debt if you look at the military budget. Just bring it back.
Yes.
Bring it back to those points they don't talk about.
Great fucking point.
The other thing I like to see from Gabbard is especially
what she's done so far.
Well, not only what she's done so far, maybe then some, as far as one thing that she excels in that these other fuckers don't. That's her social media status. She's very big on social media. Capitalize on that. Just take it further. Like further, you know? Yeah. Like those creepy business dudes that are like, you got like the... I mean, I find him a little bit creepy. That guy that... Gaber Chuck, whatever the fuck his name is.
Who?
Gary something. Whatever. The point is, he's like, you gotta use your content the right way. I'm like, he's right there. That's the only thing I agree with him as far as putting a bunch of shit out like every day.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to see. Yeah.
Make your message clear and stand by it.
But I'm no expert on that.
Go out there and just be yourself. Yeah, what else could I say?
What else can I say?
No, it's what more can I say? Okay.
I'm just using what you said.
I'm joking with you. All right. I guess that's it for this segment.
Look at that.
Right.
It's gross. That's it. That's the one.
All right, let's read some comments here. No, Muay Thai, we're not giving you a GoFundMe account. Ruben says, Julian Castro is one. Yeah. It's like, where do you stand out at? I think his thing is immigration or something like that. It's like, okay. Well, how about Venezuela? What do you think about that? I doubt he goes anywhere with it. That's too controversial. Yeah, I'll lose future jobs doing that.
I'll lose future jobs.
Muay Thai. Guys, have you watched the video? I've seen parts of it. I don't want to say like guys like that are just crazy dudes. He's talking about the New Zealand shooter.
Oh, did I watch the video, the actual video? No, I don't really need to.
I've seen small parts of it, but I was watching like a news coverage, not looking for the video.
The only reason why I would ever watch something like that is like it feels as if for me personally it's an obligation to make sure is there anything off in this video specifically. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. And then once I see it, it's like a one and done thing. It's not for like a morbid people dying. Yeah. For some people that's something else, but it's like for me it's like, is there anything off in this video? Is there anything I could like anything here I could like maybe like tell people about? You know?
Yeah. So, more important to me than the video was the manifesto, which I read the entire thing of, and it reflects a lot of guys you see on YouTube, their ideology, even though they might want to, push that to the side and say it's just a crazy guy who, he's just a troll, 4chan troll guy who went crazy. It's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Ruben,
look at this. The guys that it reflects, they'll never admit it, and they'll run away from the subject. So.
Ruben says Bernie Sanders has been endorsed by Evo Morales, the president of Bolivia. I've heard that name before. Wasn't he like a farmer that became president somehow?
I heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, a guy who sounds like he's trying to be on the right side of history. Like, I'll put it that way. And Bernie Sanders, once again, he has the clout now. So who do I expect to win? Bernie Sanders, but I want Tulsi's ideas there as far as foreign policy, which is my biggest,
So let's say Bernie wins, you would like her to be Secretary of State or something like that.
I'd like her to basically like, listen, Tulsi, you run the military. I'll act like I'm running the military, but you do all of that shit. You look into all the details. And I believe Tulsi pointed this out as a difference between her and like Bernie Sanders. She's like, I'm not intimidated by how many stars you have on your chest or your shoulder. It wasn't a diss. What it was like.
That's a diss.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it is.
No.
I'm not intimidated by the size of your muscles. I'm not intimidated by the amount of stars you have in your chest. That's like saying you're being a little bitch whenever a general comes your way.
What she was basically saying was
come on. When you look at the ramifications for these things.
Well, she's looking at it as.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
She didn't mean like people see the military guys and get scared. They get intimidated in the sense of information. As in, listen, if we don't bomb here, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Like, Bernie Sanders may not understand that. Like she'll know the tactical reasons why that's bullshit. To where you can't just be like, have you ever served? Yeah, I have. I do understand these operations.
Can you imagine?
What are you gonna do about it?
They bring it to him. It's like, listen, Bernie. As far as what's happening in Iran, you see, this and this and this over here. We need to do some aerial strikes, right in this region right here.
Yeah.
And then we need to rebuild that area. But we also need to make sure people have jobs there. Well, say no more. Tulsi, talk to him. He's like, fuck.
Well, that's the thing. Like, will Bernie recognize like if a false flag happens? Will he recognize it? Will he know what questions to ask?
I'm not sure.
Because we just saw Tulsi sit down with Tucker Carlson, bringing up the OPCW report of how they, fudged some data, or they didn't fudge any data. They left data out of their original report.
Yeah.
And it's like, Tulsi was asking for evidence way back when it was happening. Oh, Tulsi went to visit this person. So it might even be better that she's Secretary of State or something like that, rather than the president going over there and it's like, they might find a way to shoot you somehow.
I don't know. Honestly, now you know. I've discussed this before. There's a reason why I don't run. There's a reason why I'm not actively pursuing that position. Because it's like, I'll die. Something will happen.
All right, bring the next one in. Bring the next leftist in.
God, don't even say that. You lefty. It's like, dude, you're remembered, and people are gonna laugh at you.
Yeah.
Not you, but I mean, like a guy like Ben Shapiro, like you're gonna be remembered as a fool.
Yeah.
If you don't turn it around, I mean, like that, like just this.
Well,
like
people
you, George Bush, goblin, gremlin, fucking.
People are gonna go back with the filters off, with the whole he destroys SJW's filter gone.
Yeah, I know.
Ruben says, not even old man Gravel. Oh. Talking about I guess he's talking about who in the field.
He ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, he didn't.
A little late, Not age, but I meant like as far as I'm here again. And then on top of that, what they did, now you have to have this many. It's like now you're completely fucked, man.
He's he's fucked in the polling area.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Because the 65,000 could be possible in order to make the first 2 rounds, but you also need 1% polling in 3 different polls.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just like, fuck you, Gravel. As far as like, they don't even mention this guy exists anywhere. So people aren't even going to know the name. And it's unfortunate. It's almost like they're working against you or something. It's very weird.
Don't say that. They can't do that. They wouldn't do that.
They can't lie. Of course they can.
Damn, what an asshole.
Muay Thai says, is George Bush really a lizard? I don't know. You can ask David Icke.
I wouldn't go to David Icke for advice, but, you know, he's definitely interesting.
David Icke's not bad.
Look at his shit recently, son.
I haven't looked into his shit recently. I know him from my era of watching David Icke.
All I'm saying is the guy, I mean, from what I've seen, it was older clips. It was interesting. That's all I can say. As far as some to be fair, I haven't seen the actual videos of what I'm fucking like, you know, referencing, but I'm not liking those titles I saw.
I wouldn't know. I remember I watched like his 1990 something lectures.
That's not
there's
what I
like
meant.
8 people in the room.
That's not what I meant.
And he's going over geopolitics, and he happens to be correct on all of it. I think the lizard stuff came later. I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
I viewed it as a metaphor, to be honest. But
I don't believe it necessarily. I don't believe it, that they're literally shape-shifting, but whatever.
He's like, that's right.
Howdy doody. She needs an 8-mile version.
Who?
Who, Tulsi? What does that mean?
That means you can bring a concealed weapon into a building without anybody searching you, then she'll be taken out like that.
Muay Thai trying to get us banned. Thank you, Muay Thai. Asked us guys on 9/11, which was your favorite tower collapse?
I'm not joking around about that.
Yeah. Ruben Garcia, the New Zealand shooter from this year, was a Freemason, just like the Norway shooter from 2011. I don't know.
Neither.
I don't know. He did visit some interesting places, like Middle Eastern countries and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I thought you hated these guys. I thought they're invaders. Those are your words. You called them invaders. So.
Mm-hmm.
Muay Thai, he was a legend. I hope you're not referencing the shooters. Howdy doody. What do you guys think America is offering millennials? They offered boomers homes and education. See how that worked out?
Well, for me, it's like more of a... It's really like what Tessarian said. You can't have it today. You'll have it tomorrow. The world of tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can't have it today.
Sadly, foreign policy is not as high on the list as I think it should be. Because that's literally just killing other people. Quite literally.
The world of tomorrow.
But I think for millennials, it's the debt, like debt-free college or free college, healthcare, and a mixture of like identity politics as well. You know,
it is interesting how
fix lower income areas because it's racist.
The topic of UBI really came up.
UBI, yes,
Yeah.
That's another one. Hey, even Tulsi considered that as well.
Who knows?
She spoke with Andrew Yang before. And on Rogan's podcast, I believe she mentioned something like a UBI. Like, I've been looking more into that. So it's like, damn, you sound like you're trying to win. Holy shit. Slow down.
It's like, what are you doing? Don't win. Keep people's lives miserable. Come on.
Ruben Garcia. He is a former union leader of indigenous ethnicity. He is one of the first indigenous leaders of Latin America. That was it. Why did I think it was a farmer? I could have swore he was just like a normal dude that made it to president. Because the lower income people were like, we're tired of this shit. No more of that.
I just remember somebody that reminded me of like what Chavez was doing. Well,
He's one of them, yeah.
like the guy, like, that like got elected and walked into the fucking like corporate building and said like, "Fuck you, get out."
I don't know about details like that, but guys from like, there's like a little class of
All I meant was like,
Latin American leaders
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, you guys seem like you're trying to help your people.
there's some level
Like
of
Chavez was one,
Yeah.
Correa,
Mm-hmm.
in Ecuador, and in Bolivia.
Tommy Roldos.
That's a different era.
Hmm?
I'm talking about three guys that
Right now.
existed at the same time.
I think you meant Latin America,
Yeah, that is Latin America.
just in general.
No, I mean
Okay,
guys
my bad,
in
my
the
bad.
same class of like
Yeah.
around.
There's
each
somebody else too, but I'm not sure specifically.
Yeah.
He got shot though.
I do remember Democracy Now! Mentioning a guy in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot his name, but they sort of ran him off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's a dictator. Matt Hunter, Biden will be the nominee, and in the general election, he will carry the same states as Hillary, and Trump will carry the same states as he did in 2016. Very, very possible.
What makes
I don't think Biden's going to win. I'm saying if Biden wins, then I think you are spot on with the results.
Yeah.
You might even be more in favor of Trump. You might wash him away.
What makes you think Biden's gonna win, Matt? I mean, I have an idea why, but I'm just curious.
Don't make assumptions. Anyways,
Well, I mean, it's gonna be an educated assumption, right? Assuming.
Muay Thai says, yeah, James, you're a leftist. You. Are you a leftist? Do I have a leftist hiding? Sitting right next to me?
Actually, probably with all the dust mites next to you. It might be somewhere. They'll hold up their left leg up like this, like. No, I'm not a leftist.
Okay.
I don't categorize myself.
Ruben says, I meant about donating money. Not even Mike Gravel. Nope. Not even Mike Gravel. I'll donate to myself. If I'm running, then I'll vote, and then I'll donate. How about that? Propaganda. Boy, is it so hot in my apartment.
Cool.
Random. Way to contribute to the conversation.
It's like, what do you call it? Not saying you, but it's like, imagine a hotel with nothing in it. Just someone sitting down on the ground. They hate that there's no noise, so they slap the ground. Oh, there's something.
Muay Thai says Ireland's potatoes are for the Irish. Interesting.
He won't go into depth on what that means. So
Propaganda complaining about the heat, trying to brainwash us into climate change. You leftists. Ruben Garcia. But look up both the New Zealand shooter's background and the Christchurch group he was in. I'll check that out if I remember. Yeah. As hot as Tulsi? Gotcha. I was worried my weed will die. Don't worry, weed just survives. It's a survivor. Also from Propaganda, I feel that UBI won't work in the current system. What is stopping the rich from jacking up the prices on everything? We need to tax the super rich at 99% and then pay for UBI.
no,
That might be a little too much.
no. The rich will just buy the military and just kill everybody.
Yeah. I wish so desperately I could appeal to people's innate moral sense, but it only seems to come out with family, right? It's if their sons or daughters are in the way. Sometimes, hopefully, or somebody will come up with a culture thing as a reason to appeal to morals, or whatever. Like, oh, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We have the same, similar background. Now my morals come out.
Now
But,
my morals come out.
people are still stuck in their childish stages. Propaganda also says, yeah, Biden is the plan. He's the plan.
Let me tell you the plan. The cabal is now trembling, quaking in their boots, as Trump, in his big burly chest, looms over and shakes his fist, as he's going to free the United States finally. 1776 will commence again. It's like, fuck, man.
I will now say this now. Ruben Garcia has a better understanding as far as history and politics than either of us do.
Probably.
He constantly has the names like right there and shit. Fuck.
I'm not even gonna pretend I'm an expert, but
yeah, we're nowhere near experts.
No.
He's remembering the names I constantly forget. All right. Ruben says maybe Morales was a farmer. I don't know. Jean Bertrand Aristide was the president of Haiti that got removed. Yes, that is the name I remember. I don't think I've ever heard it out loud, but I know what those letters looked like. Propaganda. Kamala is the backup, and the rest are there to prevent Bernie from getting delegates. Agreed. But they're upset about it. They're upset about these DNC changes. Fuck out of here. Matt Hunter, where did I say Biden would win? I said he will win the same states as Hillary, which is well under the needed electoral votes. Now he's asking, what did you ask? Why do you think Biden will win the primary? Not the general election, the primary, right?
I maybe have misunderstood him, but either way, what makes you think he's going to win that?
He means the primary.
Yeah, primary.
Win the Democratic nomination. Propaganda, boys, it's so hot, I could puke. Well, do it. Who's stopping you? Puking is a human right.
Oh, God, that fucking... I don't even know how to describe that guy.
Propaganda, I'm too broke to donate to anyone. Plus, I'm Canadian. Yeah, that Canadian thing might stop you.
Well, you could just go try out for hockey, you know?
Yeah.
No Kramer.
Just fly over to Alaska, and you can marry James. Then you're a legal citizen.
I'm already married. How dare you?
Muay Thai. What you mean I won't get into what that means, James? You want to start throwing some facts this way, bruh?
Yeah, I asked you like 3 times the other day, and you're like,
Bruh.
you just fucked around. So it's like, he won't get into it. He's just fucking around.
Matt Hunter, which state that Trump carried into 16 could Biden possibly flip? I don't think he'll flip any of them. I'm in agreement with you. What I question is whether Biden will win the nomination.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking him what makes you think he'd win.
And we'll be documenting how legitimate it is if he does. I will be paying attention.
Because
deeply.
If that guy wins, I'm like, something bad. Something fucking, someone cheated. Someone did something, man. That doesn't smell right, you know.
Ruben says something on propaganda. Propaganda. UBI is not what I want. I want equality and a new paradigm, a new economy where we don't have to buy shit to boost our economy. I want good people. Then it doesn't fucking matter what system it is.
Same.
Damn near doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
You're picked.
That's the game, though. Fuck them. Fuck this shit.
That was Kate Rod, so.
It's not K-Rod. K-Rod's. I wouldn't be angry if it was K-Rod.
Muay Thai claims to know more than Ruben does. I doubt that.
I don't know.
Propaganda. I bet Obama made a successor team. They have been conspiring for years, I'm guessing. These guys are 12, 20, 80 steps ahead as far as their little conniving fucking schemes and shit. Come on, son. I think, at least.
I can definitely. Well, I think it's being clever. I don't think it's like, you evil genius. Nah, he's a dumbass, but he's clever. He's clever.
They have backup. Well, look at criminals, right? Mm-hmm. If you update security, they're going to find different ways to get through.
Oh, sure.
They're still working on that, basis of greed or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're going to upgrade their tactics to get the gold.
Yeah.
Get whatever the fuck. So these guys have backup plans for their backup plans.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
He's just rambunctious up there,
Ah.
He's like, the birth rates.
Ireland for the Irish. Build the wall. MAGA, says Muay Thai.
Oh, so
Guys, I'm a leftist.
are you for the wall Muay Thai?
Muay Thai says, guys, I'm a leftist. Watch him say shit, so I read them, and then he cuts it up. And there's a video of me saying, I'm a leftist. I'm a leftist.
That's what fuck boys do.
Either I say, okay, come debate me. You guys destroy leftists, don't you? Come debate a leftist. Get that free smoke. Alright, so we're going to now be moving on to an argument about Medicare for all. Or, free healthcare, just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat free. Pretend free healthcare. And Tim Pool has some problems with that. You see, healthcare is not...
The guy that pretends that he's not a conservative?
Hopefully you guys can see this, but you have no rights. The world is cruel and unfair. From Tim Pool on Timcast. And he's going to explain to us how unfair the world is. So that's why certain things that, I think healthy-minded people want for everyone else is just, it's not realistic. And we're going to let Tim explain. Hopefully this volume isn't too loud.
I got a couple stories in this segment, but I love talking about survival, the real world, wilderness, because, first of all, I am no mountain man. I am no survival expert, but I have been homeless, and I do understand how harsh the real world is. And I feel like there are a lot of millennials that need to understand this. And so I got a couple things to talk about. This story about a woman, a yoga instructor. She fell 20 feet, broke her leg, and for 17 days was lost in the wilderness in Hawaii. Her skin was rotting. Full disclosure, if you're not prepared to talk about harsh realities and the real world, then don't watch this video. She had to eat...
There's nothing tough going on here. There's no grittiness going on here to where it's like, disclaimer, back up.
Trigger warning.
Back up before you hurt yourself.
If you're not ready for the real world, don't watch this video.
It's like...
It's like, fuck out of here, son. You think this shit? Like, you serious?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, this is some deep shit.
This is some Disney shit, relatively speaking.
It's always somebody. I don't give a fuck no more. Fuck it. All right, go ahead.
Here we go.
Moths she ate moths, insects, to survive, and drank from a dirty stream.
Whoa. Moths in a dirty stream. Let's see, you're stranded in the fucking jungle. Yeah, no resources around you. It seems like he'll go for anything. He'll use whatever he can to survive.
Yeah.
If you have the will to live. I think that's basic to a human. The will to survive in order to live. I don't mean live as in inhale, exhale, but live as in, date, play video games.
I'll call it
buy a house. I don't know.
Living to experience rather than
argue with people.
Live to experience or live to survive.
Yeah.
So, big difference. Big difference.
There we go.
Because she did whatever she was doing what it took to survive. The other story I want to talk about,
as most of us would,
this is from the Daily Mail. It's kind of a breakdown of the harsh realities of Mount Everest and the tourists who don't have training but want to go on these ridiculous adventures. Now, here's the main point as I talk about these stories. This woman, to me, is respectable. This is heroic. I have tremendous respect. I don't even know how to describe it, for what this woman did to survive and how she survived through this.
if he's going in the direction of, he thinks that these, like, the quote-unquote SJW kids wouldn't do whatever they had to do to survive. If he's implying that they'll just sit next to a fucking banana tree and
cry their eyes out until they fucking starve to death. Yeah, I know. Then he's fucking.
Like, whoa,
he's
you are
ignorant.
painting a certain picture. That's not. I don't know if that's ignorance as much as it's just an insult to someone. This seems more like an insulting nature.
Actually, if we go deeper, it is ignorant. But
yeah, I get you.
I know
Like, you really think there's gonna, come on, son. They all seen Castaway. They know what to do.
Yeah, all you gotta do is
fire.
No. You better pray you find a fucking ball to talk to.
Yeah. Wilson.
Fuck you, Tom Hanks. Fuck you.
Yeah. The ball starts doing Shapiro's dad.
Oh, you mean? Fuck the piece of shit, we died hell. No!
All right. Let's continue. Inside joke, guys.
What's away? To die in hell, piece of shit.
And I mean, it's horrifying. It is, but the world is the real world. It's just so dangerous and harsh.
Well put.
And it's unfair and it's cruel.
See, this sounds like a guy who hasn't experienced real darkness. Like, real darkness. To where, I don't know. The world is harsh and it's cruel. Like,
Well, intuition tells me that he thinks darkness is... Oh, I was homeless.
no. He thinks darkness is like black eyeliner or tattoos.
Oh.
Sleeves of tattoos and like a mohawk and bunch of piercings. It's a dark person. That's what I think he thinks. So when he says the world is cruel and unfair,
That's... God, that smell again.
I partially agree with him. But when he says it, I don't think he understands that level.
No, because like...
But that's just me. That's not saying he hasn't experienced suffering or anything.
No,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just coming from a sort of deeper metaphysical understanding of dire situations.
I can understand.
That's how someone who's experienced that can read the depth of some rich kid who didn't get a Mercedes-Benz for Christmas. Like, I can see your pain. I can see the level it's at. I can see that. Or whatever, which is why they would have empathy, even for someone that most people would be like, oh, you're just some rich asshole. Oh, your girlfriend broke up with you? You rich asshole. You'll be rich the rest of your life. It's like, you can sort of read, like,
Yeah.
see the depths of it. Empathy. Let's continue.
But something has happened. We live in this beautiful bubble. Beautiful, beautiful bubble with police, with fire service, with ambulances.
Sorry.
And so I think about issues pertaining to the left and the right and perspectives on these issues. And the first thing I'll bring up is if you want to support my work, timcast.com/donate. And subscribing, sharing the video really, really helps. The first thing I want to say is we constantly hear stories about these young millennial types who go to extremely dangerous places like, they'll go to Morocco. Yeah, really dangerous. They'll go to Congo and they'll get kidnapped, murdered, tortured, etc. Horrifying realities. Because people don't realize when you grow up in the beautiful urban bubble of America, with safety, like violent crime is on the decline. It's been repeatedly on the decline. It's been, or I should say, nonstop on the decline. These young people don't seem to understand how hard the world really is. And then
I wonder who he's talking about. I wonder.
They're not supposed to read that when they're living life. That's not supposed to be a part of their psyche.
Oh.
Right? You're not supposed to be thinking of, being captured by pirates when you go on vacation or whatever. I don't think that's supposed to happen.
I would agree.
Now, I do understand it does happen, but I don't think that's supposed to be a part of your psyche. That's supposed to be something you carve out, right? You clean that area up. There's something else I was going to say. The people that act in certain ways that hurt the meek, just the innocent people, just, oh, I'm on vacation.
I hear you.
Those guys are fucking pussies. They're cowards.
Yeah.
They're little kids curled up in a ball. They're the ones curled up in a ball somewhere.
Yeah, so for this idea that like, oh, these people are the ones, like, you know, the ignorant people that when they get hurt they just cry. It's like, no, they're the innocent.
Oh, as opposed to the
Ignorant, yeah.
As opposed to, I need to take advantage of people for some reason.
Yeah,
Need
the
money
guys
or
that
something.
you could argue that Tim Pool is actually defending, or just turns a blind eye towards, or just has no idea what's going on in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, so who's really the one that's really needs to wake up,
Yeah.
face the real world, as he likes to say, right?
Yeah.
The real world.
Those guys are the internal cowards. They're next to the tree, huddled up, like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Or there's nothing there at all, which would be worse.
The millionaire cowering under his mansion, under the staircase.
The kids that are like, fucking free world, man, I'm traveling the world.
Yeah.
Those are what you call fearless to some degree.
Oh, like
At
that
least in
movie?
that area.
That movie?
Yeah. They're just out living, like, you look at a little kid climbing a tree, like, dude, if he falls, he's fucked. But he's just, yeah, climbing the fucking tree.
I can relate, yeah. Handstands.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm good.
Let's continue. Just wanted to say that.
And you see these people claiming, all of these things are human rights, like what, I don't know, everything's a human right. In reality, here's what I tell people.
Well,
Look at this woman.
Where did that come from? I don't know. Everything's human right. Fuck, what was that? That's what I'm talking about, right? Now, you can tell a lot from that alone, right? Or at least
What do you say exactly?
You can make
What do you say exactly?
Go back.
I
Go
looked
back.
down.
Go back. You're good. Go ahead.
And then you see these people claiming, all of these things are human rights, like what, I don't know, everything's a human right. In reality,
I remember he said that,
Everything's
right?
a human right.
I don't know. Everything's human right. It's like, what? I'm just saying, remember that.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
I shall.
here's what I tell people. Look at this woman in the wilderness for 17 days, and I'll tell you what you have a right to.
Go ahead, do it.
Here, she can speak, she's free to move, she's free to live and do what she wants. But guess what? There was no food. There was just bugs. She was injured. You want to talk about what you have access to, what your rights are? Was there anyone there to provide her health care services in the wilderness? Absolutely not. The only reason she survived is because she willed it so and did what she had to do. At a certain...
Wow, Tim, you're so smart.
As 99% of humanity would probably do. I'll do what I can to survive. So far, not so good for Tim Pool.
No. If anything, this is leading me towards...
It sounds like a dishonest argument against Medicare for all. A very dishonest one.
Yeah, but it's also leading me down the road of, is this where your ideology is stemming from? Which is why some people will call him like a secret conservative, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you fake lefty. You see why? Now he positions himself, well, I'm more of a center left. It's like...
I think this is him adopting ideology for fanfare.
Who knows?
For more ticket sales.
I can see that.
I got a show for you, folks. Come right in. There we go.
certain point, she said, I kid you not, I'm going to eat a moth. How many people do you know, young people, would never put a bug near their mouth? I always laugh.
I know. What?
What does that fucking mean?
No,
Are they starving, have no access to any type of food, and there's just nothing but moths around them? You tell me they're not going to eat them? You fucking kidding me? What kind of... What millennial do you know would put a moth
I don't
in
know,
their
bro.
mouth?
Maybe he's been...
I don't know. Is there a burger joint down the street?
Yeah, maybe he's been hanging around too much of like fucking cartoonish like characteristics of like what some of these memes that are online.
Yeah.
Been hanging around watching too many videos of like just people like who I thought were actors going like this. Nah.
Yeah.
This is what they all are. Silly people with pink hair. Oh, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, either he's really fucking ignorant or he's like secretly trying to like push an ideology out there.
Yeah, there's probably a stadium's worth of college kids who are not the ones caught on camera doing whatever, who would wreck this guy in a one-on-one just discussion, debate, argument, whatever.
Yeah.
We will get to comments, guys. Be patient. Be patient. Be very patient.
Laughed. You know, I'd always laugh watching Fear Factor when they're like, "You gotta eat the intestines of a goat," and they're like, "Ew, it's so gross." I'm like, "You kidding?"
Fear Factor.
He's running into bad territory now. Yeah.
Are you making an assessment, a sociological assessment, or a I don't know, human behavior assessment based on Fear Factor?
A reality show.
I mean, I don't know. Those guys don't have to do those things.
No,
right?
it's a choice.
It's like survival. Here you go.
It's like, hey, either way, guys, chances are you'll probably live today. You know, you'll probably live today, just by the chances. You know, probabilities, etc. Now you can eat the testicles of a fucking bull, and if you do, you'll get this amount of money. Versus, as opposed to, oh, your leg's broken, you're gonna die if you don't eat. There's a dead moth right there. Go ahead, eat it. You're gonna survive. Chances of survival will go up if you eat that moth.
Yeah, no TV cameras around either to get a expected reaction as well.
No.
Ew, gross.
So it's like
No one's around for that.
not a good comparison.
No one around. Just you by yourself.
Granted, there's some weird organs of weird animals, but I'm like, you're talking about eating food, dude. What's gross? Like, eat an eyeball. It's like, okay. Seriously, man. We are so conditioned to the comforts
You want to talk
and
about conditioning?
consistency of modern life that you need to actually understand what you have a right to. And I think when you look at stories like this, the woman who's lost in the wilderness, when you look at the stories of the people who die climbing Mount Everest, tourists who are not trained and not prepared, or the stories about people who go on these adventures into dangerous places and get killed by dangerous people, it makes me realize a lot of the political values held by young people and some old people are based on a lack of understanding about the world. And that's an interesting point to bring up.
What? Simple childish empathy. Maybe you ever think like a little child could have more wisdom in one experience than Tim Bull ever had?
Quite possibly, yes.
As in a little kid's like, like you broke your leg? Yeah, I had to take care of it myself. Why don't you go to the doctors? That's where I go when I get sick.
Or why don't you go get help?
I don't have enough of this paper here. This paper that says it's valuable, you know. I don't have enough of that.
Oh, that's stupid.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. Holy shit.
I don't think a 4-year-old's gonna say that, but
It's like, wait. It's because they can't do that, right?
Yeah.
There's so little supplies.
Mhm.
There's just a small amount of supplies where only certain people can take it. No, that's not the case. They have plenty of supplies.
all right.
I just don't have enough of this paper here.
Mm.
It's like, oh yeah, that's fucking stupid.
It's atrocious. Yeah.
Fuck. See, Tim has no understanding of humanity in the metaphysical sense. He doesn't understand things like empathy and I don't know, just simple logic. If you can take care of the,
That's what it fucking seems like.
it's like, what takes care of the most people with the least amount of resources wasted? Like, oh, okay. You just do that. Maybe I'm tripping.
Oh no, I would agree, man. Especially if we're now we're discussing the topic will always go there, in my opinion. When this dude thinks it's just politics. No, it's basically the human question.
Oh, he thinks he's playing politics.
No,
Because I think this is a slight at Bernie Sanders.
a what?
A slight.
Okay,
That's what I think it is.
all right.
As in, Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. Biden's going to win the primaries, and Trump's going to win.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, yeah, but you're campaigning against one of the other candidates. You're not being like a neutral guy just observing
No, he's
what's
not
going
neutral.
on in the
He's
world.
not. Look at his thumbnails. You think he's neutral?
No,
No.
I don't think he's neutral. I'm just saying you can't just sit here and pretend, or he can't pretend. He can't just act like he's authentic. When it's so obvious, like you're campaigning in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I mean, hey, if it's obvious. I mean, it's literally like, go look at his thumbnails. You fucking tell me.
Go watch him talk to Jimmy Dore about Medicare for all.
Watch how easily he's moved, especially with the language he's using. It won't work. Actually, it will. I mean, actually, it's more likely that it will work because of, like, let's say 1, 2, and 3. Oh, okay. I don't know.
Jimmy
Like,
Dore.
what? You moved that easily, and that's not a quote, but it's like, go watch it.
Jimmy Dore in the most calm sense of Jimmy Dore-ness.
Oh yeah, I was a little surprised at that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't like Medicare for all? That's too bad. And then he just explains it to him and wrecks him with it.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. There we go.
Like you're a child, you know.
Yeah.
Like, Timmy, reason why, like 5 and 5 don't equal 11 is this.
I see Ruben's got some good stuff for us. We'll get to the comments, guys.
About the Second Amendment and firearms and things like that. I told a friend I had a friend tell me nobody ever needs to have a firearm. There's no reason for it. Surprise, surprise. This was a friend who grew up in Los Angeles for the most part. A big city with many, many police officers. In fact, this military base is not that far off. So sure, think about this. You're at home, something happens, you break your leg, you yell at the top of your lungs. You're in Los Angeles, if you fall and break your leg, you yell, someone's gonna hear you and run to your help. Run to your aid. Now imagine you're in a rural area. You're 60 miles out from the main highway. You're in a flyover state. You're not off a major interstate. You fall and break your leg. You yell. There's no one. And that is going to give you a dramatically different perspective on what rights you have. It's going to give you a dramatically different perspective on what you need to survive.
Is this a gun argument? You started off talking about gun rights. It's like, what?
Now do you see why I'm saying, like, oh, you're really a conservative, aren't you? Like, underneath, hiding.
Just trolling people so they feel good, like they're balanced. Oh, I listen to Democrats. I listen to Tim Pool.
I mean, if anything,
I feel balanced.
If anything, this just really tells me it's like, oh, not only do you have a lack of understanding of, like, I would say politics, and I'm a novice, by the way.
Yeah.
But the things you neglect when you're talking about that specifically, right? Politics or something that's happening specifically, like Venezuela, for example, or why Trump's going to win again in 2020.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about
Biden.
like existentialism to a degree, survival. They can't hang. Like, you ready for this?
Yeah.
You ready, dude?
All right, let me start reading. They're piling up. All right. I'm almost out of fudgesicles.
Only they know.
Muay Thai, she got lost in Hawaii. I don't know who you're talking about. Propaganda. Read a Chris Hedges book, and you will feel sick. But Tim Pool is shitty at playing on my emotions. Chris Hedges' War is a Force book made me puke. Got car sick and barfed out the truck window. That sucks. That's how I feel listening to Stefan Molyneux. Muay Thai. Next she'll be saying she got brutally savaged by a gang of pineapples. Propaganda. Even Ben Shapiro would hate to be stuck with Ben Shapiro eating bugs and drinking bog water. You mean bong water? Ruben Garcia. I saw this funny picture that was making fun of Castaway in the scene where Tom Hanks discovers fire, and in the background there's a beach resort and city around it.
Ooh.
With the caption saying, "If only he had turned around." Muay Thai being silly. Ruben Garcia. Tim Pool is a former co-founder of either Vice or Vox.
He worked for them. He worked for Vice.
He worked for Vice, who Robbie Martin,
Right.
Max Blumenthal, Ben Norton all exposed the shit out of Vice.
Yeah.
You know, their funding, and I'm a cool rat guy. I'm also a billionaire.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Propaganda. It's a human right to kill others.
No, it's not.
Well, it's a human right to try and help other people, right?
Yeah.
I would think so.
You would think?
I would think so. That sounds like a human right to me. Human rights are hard-fought things. It's about elevating humanity.
It's the idea of what human rights, you know, what do you call it? When someone says human rights, I think, oh, well, where does that idea come from?
Yeah.
And we go deeper and deeper. So that's what like when we like it's kind of like to me it's like like splitting open an apple, then you have a seed. Like, oh, this thing right here, huh?
Yeah.
Something gets overlooked, but it's very important. You know?
You have a human right to be yourself. And in my thinking, I would say, if everyone was truly being themselves, they'd want something like healthcare to be a neutral thing. It's just there.
Mm.
They want something like food and water to just be there so they can express themselves in ways that have nothing to do with survival. Other than like existential experience, expression. I want to go out in the wilderness and see if I can survive. Like that type of shit.
Go ahead.
I want to wrestle a bear.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but you know. You ever heard of Grizzly Man?
Yeah. Propaganda. Tim is a spin doctor. Hard. He likes that song. Muay Thai. Moth Lives Matter. Hawaii for the moths. He's a speciesist. That makes sense. Propaganda. Fuck. You can read that one.
What is it?
You can read it.
Is it serious or is it silly?
You see the orange right above it?
What? Right here?
Right above the orange.
All I can tell you is that you can try. That's it.
No comment from me.
Mm-hmm.
Ruben Garcia. Tim Pool was very involved with Occupy Wall Street. Watch his earlier videos on RT. He used to be way different.
Well,
Sellout.
you can argue like was he ever truly in to begin with?
Was it a career move? Let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
look at Vice.
sure.
Look at a lot of Vice stuff, right? It was, we're going out to these crazy places, and we're like, surfer dudes doing crazy shit in
Yeah, I know.
jungles and, random armies and.
Think like this. Do you think it's more profitable, right? As far as as Tim Pool. Oh, let me use these type of thumbnails, these specific topics, pander to these specific group of people, and just completely ignore this thing over here. These legal wars, these politicians funding so and so. Let's just stick to the social shallow understanding of what's going on. The culture war. Why AOC is ruining so and so or whatever the fuck. Like I said, I keep saying this. If I start a separate channel and I change my name, as far as on the surface goes, meaning like hello, I'm Johnny fucking
Rock.
No, I knew you were gonna say that. I'm Johnny Stripe Socks, and this
Johnny
is
Be Good.
whatever. And I'm against the left, leftist tears, and I start making like videos where it's like just stupid, like basically what Gavin McInnes does. And you see the following he has. Now I understand it's translating over because he made a name for himself too.
Yeah.
But the point is, I could probably get about 10,000 or 5,000 subscribers within 3 months. Look at Mr. Reagan. Okay, that motherfucker literally
Trash.
went on the fucking streets and said this. What do you think of Trump? I don't like him. Are you for the wall? No, I'm not. No. Do you have walls in your house? Same guy. For some reason, right?
Just slap
Maybe
the
he
balls.
capitalized on some sort of topic and he started pandering to a certain group of people, and now
Just
his
slap the
numbers
teardrop tattoo
his
on
numbers
his
are
face.
like,
Oh, he had a viral video
you know what I mean?
where he's exposing AOC.
Yeah, of course. Now, even if he did to a certain degree, it's like, well, what are your motives? But the point is, it's much more profitable to do that.
Yeah. And he showed outright stamp of what team you are on when you name yourself Mr. Reagan
Oh, sure.
with a glowing picture of Ronald Reagan.
It's like, yeah, the war on drugs, right? Oh, my bad. Fuck it.
Iran-Contra didn't happen.
No. Hey, hey, man. When you were president, who was the director of FBI? Who was the head of the FBI? Oh, fuck it, right? No. There's no problems here. Not at all.
All right. Propaganda, boys, I'm overheating.
Go drink some water. I don't know
Aren't
what
you
to
in
tell you.
Canada? Isn't it cold all year round
Just
there?
go outside. I don't know what to tell you.
Go to that hockey rink that's probably like a block away from you right
Go
now.
to Bret Hart's house or something. I don't know.
Propaganda, as if he got to rag on Twitter. He did such a shit job on the Joe Rogan show. Canada is living proof Tim Pool is a liar. Yeah, single payer healthcare. Look at that. Fuck.
What?
Alright.
What?
Muay Thai, 290 subs. Guys, what are you going to do for your 1,000th sub? Huh? Who knows if that ever happens? We're too much assholes, we talk too much shit.
I'm telling you, man. Just give it a little. Give it a
No
little
team
time.
playing.
Give it a little time.
We mix philosophy in with politics. I'm not an atheist. It usually helps in political circles. Unless
I'm not
it's-
either.
Yeah. Most guys that defend religion, as far as like in political circles, they don't really defend religion. They just defend like, well, God's cool. Christians have better sex lives than these atheists do.
Like what?
It's like prove your guy exists. Do it.
You have the burden of proof.
Do that instead. Propaganda. I bet he is CIA. Tim is
Who?
what?
Pool?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Tim is what Canadians call a city slicker. How about a hoser? Bret Hart.
Yeah, I know.
We have a name for you guys. It didn't land too well, but
No, but if he's in Toronto, I mean.
yeah. Ruben Garcia. A guy I met online who said he's part of Antifa said his crew refers to Tim Pool as the Occupy Wall Street informant. So very possible he's FBI at least. FBI or opportunist?
I look at him as a straight up opportunist, and whether it be the FBI doing something where it's like, hey, man, like let's try this out, and he doesn't know it's FBI.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, hey, I can believe it. But the point is, like, I look at this dude as an opportunist. That's the way he moves.
Yeah. Also, who knows what the fuck Antifa was doing? If
Who
they're
knows?
out there smashing windows and he told the cops about it, it's like, yeah, good. I don't mind that. It's supposed to be a peaceful protest, and there's dudes out there smashing windows and lighting cars on fire and
Well,
flipping cars
it's no
over.
right. It's no different than the yellow vests when you have like
Yeah.
a group of like a suspicious group of dudes with yellow vests on doing crazy shit. It's like they're not us.
Hey, man, show your face. What are you doing?
Yeah.
There's no
Oh
guy.
yeah. What was it? Yeah, like a group of like yellow vests that for some reason have their faces like all like
Yeah.
you know.
You show your face until the gas starts coming out. Then you cover your face up. Anyways. Propaganda. Like, I grew up 30 fucking Canadians. Kilometers? Do you mean miles? The fuck is a kilometer? Like, I grew up 30 kilometers from civilization and did crazy shit. I always knew if I broke my leg, I would be fucked. But I also felt more free than I do in a shitty city. It's just preference.
What's that round?
Ruben says, oops, sorry, I thought Poole helped create it. Nah, I think it's just working for them. Propaganda. There has to be FBI and CIA YouTubers. For sure.
I'm sure, man.
I'm sure it's provocateur.
Well, at the end of the day, it can be directly or indirectly because, right? It's like who puts out, like, you know, like where are these guys getting their news from? Oh, the Pentagon released it this way. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who has a helping hand with that stuff, you know? So in a way, it's like, hey, buddy, you're pushing their shit, so you might as well be working for them. Fuck it, right? You know.
Propaganda says I'm a gaytheist. I don't know what that is. Muay Thai. You have to graft for subs. If you stay going, you'll get there. You know, just harass people, you know. Muay Thai also says James is a leftist. Ireland for the Irish.
What does that mean? Or, you know, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? I'm curious, and I'm not a leftist, but if you're gonna keep saying that, you might as well, I don't know, give me a little bit more depth.
All right. Propaganda. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Antifa. They derailed the scene. James is a downist, and also converted kilometers to miles from me. 18.64 miles. There you go.
What's a downist?
I don't know. You don't like uppists? Ruben Garcia. They could have been crisis actors. Fucking USA bitches. The whole world uses kilometers. Well, you need to adjust to the best. The best of the best. And use miles.
Oh, you're ready? This is the only thing I can really say right now. It's like, oh, yeah, well, that's why we're ruling the world. Yeah, that's right.
Your puny military. Look at ours.
We could crush you like that. Can you imagine people start saying that shit?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, fuck.
Ruben Garcia. I think Crowder said something like that before.
Oh, he's a creep, man, so.
Ruben Garcia. I still remember ElsaGate. What was going on there. I remember that shit, too. I don't know if that's fucking government related or it's just creepers organizing online. We'll sell it through kiddie cartoons. Remember the little Spider-Man like peeing on shit?
Yeah. That was
just
weird, man.
There's just constant replicas throughout these other channels that all had like millions of subscribers.
Yeah, that was weird, man.
It's like, what the freak? Shout out to Ed from The Outer Light. I remember his YouTube channel. I think he's still going. Alright, we're gonna get back to this video. Pep it up. Whatever. If it's still just going the same direction on the video there, say fuck it. Here we go.
So I look at this story from Everest. Let's talk about the Everest story. In this story, they talk about a man who became the 11th person to die on Everest just 10 days after struggling past a traffic jam of mountaineers trying to climb Mount Everest. This is a New York Times story. Look at this. Camp tents littered all over the place in one of the most dangerous places on the planet. I think it's like a 10% mortality rate. I want to show you this photo. Look at this. This photo is making the rounds. A line of people trying to reach the summit. It's only getting more and more dangerous. But one of the biggest issues with this story, for one thing I want to make sure you understand, 11 people died climbing this. The Sherpas are talking about how some of them didn't even know how to put on their shoes. These are people. This story is very similar, in my opinion, to those who go to Morocco and, end up getting beheaded or something. This is not a game. This is not a joke. But there are people who live in their comfort, in their luxury, out of shape, and they think, I have money. I want to go to Everest. Someone, in the story, there's a quote from someone who scaled the mountain saying, why?
Oh, after dreaming of something bigger in life, I don't know. Some sort of experience you're looking forward to. lazy. I'm fat.
Now do you see why it's like, dude, what the fuck?
I don't know why he made this a video. Honestly.
Me either.
Really is just like a shit talking fest.
Well, we're aware of another video out there. It's like, the world is unfair. It's like,
All I have to do is bring him into philosophy and existentialism and be like, oh, who's being a privileged, lazy asshole? Huh? You got plenty of time on your hands. You got plenty of money coming in.
oh, I'm sure, man.
Come on,
It's
man.
like-
Let's do the work, man.
Hey, are you ignoring these events that are happening over here? That way you can stick to these shallow, silly topics. There's a culture war. Really? Where? Where is it?
It's happening on Reddit right now.
Like, wow, 30 people in
Guys-
masks, silly people.
Guys
Wow.
behind keyboards are typing away. All right, let's continue.
Is it that for the Iron Man, for instance, you have to qualify? They don't want you doing these arduous, physical, strenuous events unless you can actually qualify for it. But Everest people just show up and think they're going to get ferried to the top. And what happens?
This
They
is the
don't
guy
make
that
it.
thinks
You can't
like
breathe
social
up there.
justice wars are the biggest
I think
problem.
people are living in, they're
You're an
further.
idiot.
Man, let me tell you another story, okay?
Tell me.
I remember
Tell me.
reading a story about a family that was on the beach and a black wolf came out of the woods. And so they rushed out. I don't remember exactly where this was. It was years ago I read the story. Maybe it's apocryphal. But it was a black wolf. And they run out into the ocean and climb up on a rock, shivering and freezing as the wolf paces back and forth, not going in the water. And I read that story. It was like a devastating ordeal for this family. It was something like you could probably look up the actual story, but it was a devastating ordeal for the family who were terrified and they were worried they were going to die of hypothermia. And I thought about what life would have been like a couple hundred years ago when people didn't have the luxuries of the modern world. We didn't walk around wearing flimsy, thin layers when we actually wore thick hides. When people actually carried weapons often where they went. Would a man and his family be able to fend off and survive a wolf attack, or would they huddle in fear? I'm not a historian, I'm not an expert. But a story like that, combined with what we're seeing in terms of people going on ridiculous adventures, says to me that this photo represents people truly not understanding mortality and just how unfair the world really is.
That's weak.
Yeah. People not understanding mortality? I don't know.
By the way, it's really annoying because like he doesn't go in depth on any of this shit.
No. You gotta stay, close to the edge.
Well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know. Just like I don't know what you mean by like what's the right thing to do for you, especially. I wonder, man.
So it's just saying like obvious shit. If you're used to, being able to go to a burger joint and then you're not able to go to a burger joint, it's like, what will they do? Do you think they're just going to sit and whine or something? I don't know. I don't know where he's going with this. What I care about is the Medicare argument, to where it's like openly showing.
Well, the other thing I care about is like where he's going with this, because where his like where the shit he's saying right now. You think you're entitled to having help? It's like, what? You know who else says that?
I want to say typical Republicans that have talking points so they can defend billionaires.
And what do people call this guy? They call him a fake lefty, a fake progressive. Then he goes on a big platform and says, well, I used to be, but now I'm more center left. Now I look at the fucking content of your fucking videos and your cringy thumbnails. And I'm like, you tell me that you're not a fucking like a conservative, or you're not going to fucking align yourself with a fucking neocon?
Yeah.
Or you're going to fucking ignore all these events. Oh, there's a culture war? Yeah, you fucking Pied Piper. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to talk about Antifa? Constantly just shallow stuff like that. Oh, AOC. Well, hey, you happened in Yemen today? You want to talk about that? No. Talk about Venezuela, though. Fuck that up. Just royally fuck that up. Go ahead.
He's a weird mother.
This guy's fucking weird. Yeah, he is weird. Yeah.
And
Something doesn't smell right.
Yeah. Apparently he's voting for Tulsi or Yang. And I'm thinking it's because he doesn't think they have a chance. That's why I think he's voting for them.
Maybe he's doing it so he said I voted for them.
Biden's going to win.
Like, I don't, like, a lot of these guys say, I voted for Bernie. It's like, why do you keep saying that?
Listen, people don't care about this stuff.
Like
and that
Pac-Man?
stuff.
Like David Pac-Man. It's like, I voted for Bernie. Why do you keep fucking saying that?
Yeah. He's going to...
Guys, I did this. Okay?
He's going to say, listen, guys, issues don't matter. It's all about this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you get like, hundreds of thousands of views on your channel. You could explain some of these policies for these people. No one cares about policy. Like
said that?
That makes me think that you do care about policy.
Who said that?
Tim Pool.
Oh, he said no one cares about policy?
We just did a video on it. We didn't release it yet, but we did a video where he's talking about, do you only care about, whatever.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Yeah, the personality. Yeah, I forgot. My bad.
Yeah.
He didn't say that,
But he said
but he
it.
meant it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, you have a platform, a large platform to explain. You don't have to pick a name out.
Because...
Oh, wait, real quick. You don't have to pick a favorite. You don't have to say I'm voting for him or her or whoever. All I like to do is explain their policy. Why not just do that? It's like, so at least, at the very least, you guys are informed. I don't think most people are going to understand the policies of these candidates, but I'm going to make sure you guys understand it.
Gotcha.
Why not do that?
What I meant was
Of course he
specifically
doesn't do
was
that.
like when you thought he said, I thought you meant specifically, he said, no one cares about policy.
He basically said that.
Well, what I meant was, as opposed to, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Either way, yeah. Fishy? You bet.
Yeah. There should be meters going off in people's minds. Like, do. Threat alert. Threat alert.
All right.
Narc alert.
Dark.
Yeah.
In this story, they talk about the sheer selfishness of people.
Doing a name
This is the
out,
important
I'd
point.
notice it more. It's like,
Someone, there's quoted, they're saying that when they were climbing down from the summit, they saw people collapsing, wheezing, because they were running out of oxygen and you can't breathe. And everyone immediately grips their oxygen to themselves instead of helping others. One person says, I thought about helping other people and then realized I was jeopardizing my life by helping these people.
and that's the way the real world works.
That's bullshit.
It's like, that's crossing a fucking line when you're selling that as a narrative of how humans interact and how they are.
Yeah.
They're just cold, callous, selfish assholes. They'll look after them and their own.
Maybe you are,
And I'm
Tim.
trying to perpetuate that.
Maybe you are, Tim, but, you know.
I will perpetuate that while also telling you basically not to vote for Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
And Biden's going to win regardless, so why bother? And no one cares about policy, but I won't go into policy to maybe help my audience out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I remember what I was going to say.
That's you calling your own audience dumb when you do stuff.
Maybe like either he's trying to perpetuate that, or he actually thinks like what people care about is the personality. You know. Either way, you're an ignorant fucker.
Yeah.
So.
These whole generation that he seems to shit on to say that they're just little coward kids that would cry no matter what happens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Those guys seem, in my opinion, from what I heard, seem to be looking into policy. I don't know. That's what I've seen. But
Just like, right, Beto O'Rourke, like talking, he's like, yeah. And some girl's like, what's your policy? You haven't said anything about your policy. What is it?
I believe, did people cheer that?
Yeah.
Oh man, look at that.
Then he answered, he's like, that's a non-answer. What's your policy?
Yeah.
People can see through that shit, you know?
They can see through it, and they listen to people who see through it. Right? Secular Talk's been going on and on about that. Does he have 600,000+ subscribers? Mm-hmm. He's like, where's your policy? Oh, look, Mayor Pete's preaching against having policy.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
This is what the world really is. Fortunately,
Fuck
humans
outta
are smart.
here, you don't.
Humans are clever. We've invented things to make sure we can survive together. And cities are a representation of how comfortable things have become. I kid you not. I can experience food from every continent within like 2 miles of my house. How amazing is that? I can look into this little black rectangle.
So that's not the real world?
A shallow understanding.
What is the real world then, if that doesn't count either?
I don't think he can tell us.
So
I don't think he knows.
that's essentially saying if someone invented a hammer to build their house, like, oh, I made this thing, they call it a hammer. You're not living in the real world, son. What are you doing?
I know.
You need to put that hammer away and live in the real world.
The real world is where the things where
Make
it's
houses with your bare hands. You use your teeth to cut the wood up. That's how you make a house.
It's something that's physically tough. That's the real world.
That's called, what did I say? Like pseudo darkness, fake dark. Has no clue about that real metaphysical darkness. Fuck out of here.
Microphone
Like,
on
Tim,
it.
do you know what a
That's
shadow
it looks like.
is?
You can't see it.
Maybe we should go fucking explore, you know?
And talk to you guys all over the world about what I think, the luxuries we have. You have no right to technology and materials and all of these things. You don't. You have no right to someone helping you. And so what happens when you live in a city and you are used to seeing police, you are used to seeing ambulances, you start hearing people chant that all of it's a human right. I'll tell you what. Why don't you go off the grid? Go off the grid and then tell me what rights you have when you fall and break your leg. Tell me what rights you have when someone comes, some crazy...
What? Define a human right. Define that.
Yeah, I'm going to need that definition.
Yeah.
This is all, it sounds like mumbo-jumbo bullshit.
Yeah.
Republican talking points that he's spinning around to apply it to life somehow.
Yeah.
And he's failing at it.
You think water's a human right? Go tell me water's a human right when you're in the jungle upside down, tied with your legs onto a tree when you can't even reach coconuts for like substance or something. It's like, what? And it's 90 degrees out.
It's like, yeah, go out in the wilderness.
It's like, what?
No guns though, no clothing, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just you, no housing, just you there. It's like that's essentially what he's saying. It's like, okay. But someone made this machine that mass produces this one thing that could be helpful. This dude made a machine that can mass produce hammers so I can build a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a right. It's like, but there's one for everyone. The freak? Who cares about what word, if you call it a right or not? It's like, what's logical? What makes sense here? What's practical? What's empathetic?
Right? And I keep saying this, it's very simple, right?
Duh.
What's the best possible scenario for everybody? And why not strive towards that?
Yeah.
Because if you're a jungle broken legs, that guy, very easy to fucking take down.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, hey man, what's practical? Then why? Why? Is it because you believe in something that's underlying under all this bullshit? Right? You just said it's like he's sneaking in conservative talking points. So it's like, well, what do you really believe, man? Because right, if Jimmy Dore had a fucking fire under his ass and really wanted to fucking let's see what you're made of, let's see what you really think, he could have done that. But then I wouldn't be surprised if someone like that would up and leave.
Yeah. I'm like, Tim, aren't you the Twitter guy? The guy that went toe-to-toe with Twitter to complain about them, censoring people?
Censoring him.
What gives you a right to Twitter? What gives you that right, Tim?
Ooh, yeah, forgot.
That's not a human right, is it?
Do you have Twitter in the jungle when you have broken legs? It's like, what the fuck?
You're banning conservative voices on Twitter? Well, they don't have a right to it, do they?
It's like the Joker would have fun with this guy.
We're so privileged and all this stuff. You just want to have your rights on Twitter, do you? Don't you? It's like, hold on. You want to have your... It's
like
go ahead.
If the Joker heard that, he's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
They kidnap you. What are you doing? You don't have any rights. What if you're in the jungle, get broken legs, and I kidnap you? What then?
It's like, how about it makes sense that no one's censored on Twitter? If it's just this thing that can just be available, right? There's plenty of it, plenty of Twitter to go around, right? Everyone in the world could be a user of Twitter at the same time. It's like, why not just everyone just have Twitter? Make it available to everyone.
To me, it's just like...
Everyone in the world could just have health.
It's like someone making the argument that water, clean water is like, that's a human right. And, right, I can understand what they mean by that. What a human right. What they mean.
Exactly. That's the other part.
It's like, it's a human right. It's like, I understand what they mean by when they say the word human right. Maybe Tim doesn't.
No.
I think it's pretty fucking obvious. What that means basically, it's the right thing to do. From a sense of morality, even if it is a shallow understanding of it,
And Tim
as opposed to someone that can put their foot down when they're like, let's say 80-mile-per-hour winds, and they're not gonna be the one that's gonna move when they say no, it's the right thing to do. Like, oh, see, they know. Okay.
And Tim is catering to an audience. What audience that is, I'm guessing it's like not so far conservatives, quote unquote. I don't like calling people group names, but the ideology is like wavering near the conservatism. Because in today's world, right, when you say moderate left, you really mean a Republican from the 80s.
Oh.
You mean something similar to that.
Right.
As Barack Obama might say. So, all right, let's continue. 6 minutes left.
This lunatic with a hatchet comes staggering towards your car, and you have no way to defend yourself. It's the epitome of arrogance that I hear from many of these people. So let me explain something about my personal politics and ideology. I've lived in cities. I understand the mentality about, the Second Amendment. There are cops, within a few minutes. It's probably, they'll probably be too late for any serious incident, but there's people around who can hear you and who can help you, and you're concerned about accidental discharge and things like that. I've also lived in rural areas without police. And so I've always tried to make sure that I understood the true laws of nature.
Stop.
And what is and isn't.
Stop. This guy thinks nature is fucking outdoors.
Yeah. Just like Vince does, and most people would say that.
And if he says, no, human nature, explain it to me.
He couldn't.
No.
Loud.
Or
there are
give me an example of what you think it is if you have a tough time explaining it or defining it. And that's fair. I don't expect everybody to be a wordsmith, I'm not. I'm certainly not. But with this specifically, right, it's like, oh, I can tell if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. People will kill others if it means they will survive. It's human nature. Wrong.
Yeah.
I won't, so there you go.
Let's continue.
the true laws of nature and what is and isn't allowed. There are a lot of people who would say to you,
You just opened the door for that now. Great. Well, you already did, but now it's like specifically. Oh, that's what you mean.
healthcare is a human right. Absolutely not. I certainly
Pause
think
it.
in any modern society.
See, healthcare is a human right? What do you think human right means? Okay. Oh, it's the right thing to do. Oh, you mean there's a place where I can just walk in and they'll help me for free? No, it's not your right. What? You're telling me if I have the resources and it's not going to harm anybody if I do this to help you? Oh, hey Tim, your mom has a fucking tumor or you have a fucking tumor. There's this what do you call it? There's this new operation they got going on, that can get rid of it. But your what do you call it? Medicare or whatever the fuck he has. What's it called?
Well, the scenario you're
Your insurance, my bad.
Yeah, private insurance.
Your insurance doesn't cover it. Wouldn't it be ideal for someone to go, hey, you know what? That's fucked up. There's a group of people out here that want to help you, and they'll do it. Don't worry about pay. That's covered. They'll help you because they know it's the right thing to do. And you tell me what's practical.
Also, you may not realize that these are, as much as they're like, it's more of them campaigning to make that a human right.
Yeah.
Like, we want to make this a human right, undeniable from anyone else, so that, like, sort of like the scenarios we have now, right, where we keep trading around with these fucking healthcare policies, to just have one solid thing. It's like, you are good no matter what, no matter who steps into office, you have healthcare. They want to make it a right, as much as they're saying it is a human right.
Society, we should do the.
Oh, by the way, this is him making this is like almost like a campaign speech against Bernie Sanders. Does this not sound like it in an adjacent way, like a hit piece on Bernie Sanders?
Essentially.
That's his main thing, is Medicare for all.
Well, that's the thing that stands out the most.
And then he makes videos where he says, Biden's going to win. And then when Biden wins, Trump's going to win. Trump 2020.
Yeah. So it's like, on what grounds do you believe that he's going to win? Are you going to talk about why Bernie won't win? Are you going to talk about his policies? No, you fucking won't.
Does he even talk about the policies of the guys he's supporting?
Nice.
Didn't he shit on UBI?
He did.
He said, UBI, we just spend all day skateboarding.
And you remember when he was on Door?
Yeah.
Did we talk about UBI or no?
Nah, I don't think so.
No?
I think it was a separate... I didn't see it if it was. I think it was a separate video where he did a video talking about UBI.
Oh, no, I remember we watched that and we shitted on it.
Yeah. It's like wait a minute. But your picks are either Tulsi or Yang? Tulsi, who's been shitting on Trump about his foreign policy. You don't mention that.
This is why the conspiracy starts coming out as far as fuckers like this, fuckers like him and Pac-Man will say, I voted for Bernie. Now you can, since you said that, now you can just keep saying it. See, back then I said it.
Yeah. All right.
I like Tulsi. Why?
He's going to say her foreign policy stuff. I'm like, you don't seem to make that a prime emphasis for you.
I know.
As far as you have hundreds of thousands of people watching, and you're not going to tell them about this important shit to you.
Like, this guy's fucking milquetoast. It's fucking soft.
So clearly that's an indication of catering to your audience.
Yeah. Well, I'd call it... is pandering the right word? I mean...
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Because pandering's like indirectly...
Let's continue.
He's not being direct. I would say Crowder is catering, you know?
Okay. Let's continue.
He's like, the leftists... Blah, 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 blah.
Let's continue.
Christ.
Best we can
to
to provide healthcare to our citizenry, and I do not agree with a profit motive backing healthcare. That doesn't mean you have a right to anyone else's salary. We do the best we can to provide healthcare to our good, the true laws of nature, and what is and isn't allowed. There are a lot of people who would say to you, healthcare is a human right. Absolutely not. I certainly think in any modern society we should do the best we can to provide healthcare to our citizenry, and I do not agree with a profit motive backing healthcare. That doesn't mean you have a right to anyone else's services or the resources required to produce, the outcome you want. You have no right to it. Your right...
That's the Republican talking point of, don't take taxes as theft, taxation is theft, or whatever. It's that argument.
Well... Only thing I can say about that specifically is, there needs to be choice.
100% agree.
So,
but I'm looking at it from his context and where
I'm making a distinction between the two.
I got it.
Anyway, right? Taxation is theft. It's like, why? He can't say the shit I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna stick to the fucking talking points when you. It's literally like a dirty table and you fucking clear the sheet off and there's just nothing there. It's like, oh, look at this.
I don't know why.
I have your hat, though.
Call me Republican. I don't know. I don't get it. Why? I don't know.
Fuck out of here. So when he's like, it's not, you're right. It's like, dude, are you serious? Are you like campaigning against something that could help a bunch of people and could be effective?
Sounds like he's working against it. Now, if you look at, there's a whole bunch of shit we use taxes on. So it's like, come on, man. Here we go.
It's probably, for the most part, I'm sure there's some nuance here and someone's going to call me out. Think about what you can do when you're on the peak of Mount Everest. You don't even have a right to oxygen. The air's too thin. You got to bring your own. And if somebody else is gasping and wheezing, they're going to grip it tight. I'm sorry, if you're gasping and wheezing like we heard in this story, people aren't going to share their oxygen with you because you don't even have a right to the air you breathe.
Bullshit. What
you have no right to it.
So then you have no right to anything.
No, nothing.
So then that means we create rights. So why not make healthcare a right?
Just like you create yourself.
Rather than a pro.
Can you imagine
this
that?
is a mumbo-jumbo bullshit video I just watched. All to hear that as a conclusion.
If we keep digging, it's like, oh, you don't have the right to exist, Tim.
Yeah.
Give me that gun. No, you don't have a right. Stop crying. I thought about yelling. I don't want to kill their eardrums. Like, stop fucking crying. You don't have a right to live. Now, I'm going to shoot you in your legs, then in your arms. Then I'm going to kill you. Hold on, play. Tell me, do you have a right to live? Do you?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I do that. But I'm saying, think of it like the shadow. You know?
It will be needed.
Take it with you. It will be needed. Specifically, right? It's the opposing idea. That's like, you don't have a right. You don't have a right to breathe the oxygen. It's like, you're telling me they don't have a right to live? Are you serious?
That's what's if you say it about healthcare, then you are saying that.
Oh, he basically just put some insurance down. He made a down payment. Let's just say that. Oh, so you don't have a right to live, Tim? You don't have a right to live?
Yeah, he said that. Basically.
Fuck out of here. So.
Like in this scenario.
Hold on. So then why anything? Why? Why anything?
That's what I was.
Why do you make videos? Are you an asshole opportunist just trying to make a quick buck, just trying to fucking eat and shit the easiest way you fucking can for the rest of your days? Then why? Because this thing, like what I'm doing here, or I would hope you too, but evidence shows that you do too. A different type of knowing, I might say, but a moral obligation, as I would describe it. I might describe that differently than others, but specifically, right? Do you see? This comes with the idea of right and wrong, as opposed to, no, you have no rights. Then why are you here? Why are you talking about this? You don't care about nobody.
Because of
you don't care. Hey Tim, you don't. I guess you don't care about your family, your friends, people around you.
It's because of, what was the word? Was it catering or pandering? What word did you say?
Well,
you said pandering,
I could be really fucking wrong about this, but as far as the way,
use your own definition.
Well, catering, right?
As far as Tim Pool,
Crowder is like catering towards the obvious conservatives.
Okay,
right?
He's pandering.
He's pandering towards a crowd, right? It's like dog whistling, right? It's not. It's discreet. You see.
That is for sure.
It's like
the dog
this.
Whistling part.
It's like this, man. It's like if I'm like this, if I'm in a Yankee game, I'm like, Yankees suck, Yankees suck, and I live in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Well, I have a home in Massachusetts. I cheer for the Penguins, but I don't really cheer for them. Oh, no, my bad. Bruins, my fault. Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the and I say, the Celtics beat the shit out of the fucking Knicks tonight. Anyway, it's like, what? Like, it's very under the fucking cover type of shit, where it's like, I mean, using the process of elimination, I'm assuming you're a fucking, Boston sports fan.
Good point.
So it's like, well, fuck, son.
Process of elimination. It's like, okay, you're not for healthcare.
As opposed to Crowder.
You are for gun rights.
Yeah.
You are for, what was the other thing?
Right? Just real quick, Crowder, who has a fucking shirt that says socialism is for fags, and it shows Che Guevara, or whatever the fuck his name is. Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Going like this.
Yeah.
Like, that's out in the open. That's out in the open, wearing your colors. This dude's like, I mean, realistically speaking, they're evil. The Yankees. They won't win.
It's almost like they're teammates or something. It's very weird. Maybe you guys are right about that conspiracy theory stuff. All right, we're done watching this piece of shit video. We're going to go through the comments, and we're going to be...
This might be his worst video I've ever seen.
It's up there.
Oh, wait. What was the other one? The one we just talked about.
We got one coming out soon about Tim Pool.
Right.
Probably release it in parts because,
yeah,
as you can see, you can't go 2 minutes with this fucking guy without being like, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah. Like, how can you justify any of this shit? Anybody that's even remotely, what's the word? Come on, son, help me out here. I'm fucking dying. I'm hanging on a ledge. I'm fucking falling down.
I was looking for comments. I apologize.
Look at me. So, somebody that's what? Credible. Thanks a lot. Anybody that's credible that has any fucking, any grounds to stand on as far as, philosophy? Step over here. Come on. Would treat him like a baby, just like the way Jimmy Dore treated him.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's like this. Ready?
Oh, that's too bad. You're not for Medicare for all?
No, it's like this. Ready? Here.
I would have thought Obama was the bad.
Say socialism is evil. Go ahead.
Socialism is evil?
Oh, you think that? Well, let me tell you why you're wrong. You see, socialism, just like capitalism, are neutral systems. You see, it's people who make the choice. That's right. Use your bib as well. Wipe that. Right there. It's dripping. Right there. There you go, baby. Yeah, that's it. You see, it's people that make the system seem that they're evil or that they don't work out of ignorance and corruption. And the lack of understanding between the difference between good and evil, which is like a shallow idea of what morality is. Therefore, when they have criminal justice systems in these societies, right, it's a farce. And we can keep going. Oh, baby has to go. Time's up. Bye-bye.
Let's get back
This
to...
is the right thing to do.
Let's get back to Twitter censorship. Let's go back to there. All right, let me read these
Something
comments.
easy. Something easy. Right? Fuck, man. Fuck.
Propaganda. I gotta turn my volume down when you cover Tim. I don't want my friends next door to hear. What are they, fans?
Bring them over.
The most dangerous mountain on earth. People just climb it for for a Sunday fun day. WTF. Those are from Propaganda. Ruben says, Andrew Yang isn't running to win. He isn't running to push the UBI scam. That many dangerous people also support.
How's it a scam?
Well, some people are saying...
What?
Some people are saying... What?
Look, fuck it.
No, there's a little fly.
Oh, someone's been biting the fuck out of my leg, man.
Some people are saying that Yang wants to have UBI, but get rid of all the other social programs. So then you're just getting $1,000 a month, but you're not going to have, your food stamps and things like that. So that's why people were like, now the government's actually paying like a lot less money. But it seems like, oh, you're getting $1,000 cash every month, so you should be all right. It's like, I wonder if that's I don't know if that's what Ruben means, but like, is that a Band-Aid or what? Propaganda. Yeah, boys, no one has ever risked their life for others on Everest. Exactly. Ruben Garcia, human rights is handing... Damn it, Kramer. Ruben Garcia, human rights is handing over billions of tax dollars every year to Israel and some billions more for private defense contractors who then go on to make their own deals with Israel. Yeah. As Dora would say, bail out corporations and banks, but not people whose houses are being foreclosed.
Socialism is evil, unless we're helping the banks.
Yeah. Seems to be something never brought up.
Oh, not by the right people. Because whoever does bring it up is, as far as the totem pole of exposure is very underneath that.
I'm going crazy. It's so hot.
All right, I gotta stop him.
All right, good. It's 28 degrees Celsius in Edmonton. The fuck is Celsius? What is that? Is that cold there? 28 should be freezing there then. Oh, okay. 82.4 in Fahrenheit. Oh, okay. Now you're speaking real English. The real English. Propaganda. Boys, I bet Kim.com grows weed in his closet. He's probably got some dark lights in there. Some hydroponics going. What a bad analogy. Mount Everest? What? Propaganda. If we don't have the right to clean water and air, then that gives corporations the right to pollute our water and air. Fuck you, Tim. Yeah, I mean, these guys want to work backwards. Like, they don't see why the regulations have all been there in the first place. Guys like Molyneux, they're like, we need to go back to the free market, and then, if corporations pollute the water, they'll just, people will just move on to the next business. It's like, it doesn't exactly work that way, man. There's marketing, there's covering up the fact that you polluted air and water. There's a whole bunch of factors. But, I think Molyneux and these super duper staunch capitalists think that these what's the word? These CEOs are all good old guys who want to take care of the world.
Reminds me like when Vincent James was talking to Roger Stone. I'm like, he doesn't care about you.
Propaganda. They don't respect history and what people fought for. Yeah, that's almost. He actually tried to use that, didn't he? Oh, that's in the video we have coming up, where he's like, "You are disrespecting your forefathers when you do this and this and this."
Oh.
It might be in this. Whatever. He talks about that. Give them the goddamn Howard Zinn book. Yeah. Yeah, Tim actually needs to read that. I didn't have to because I worked on empathy.
What is that? I didn't learn that. I didn't learn that word when I was learning.
It's a human, right?
When I was being taught how to speak.
All right.
If he had like some sort of speech impediment, I don't mean that, but it's like when he talked about that skill, like you learn something to be good at and go for that. Like me, I had to find a real job. It's like, go fucking kill your, like, no, like figuratively speaking, go killing yourself and, being forced to do something you don't want to do.
Adam Smith would think Tim Pool is an ass. A lot of people already do. Look at that. All right, that's it from us. Please subscribe if you like. Comment, like, dislike, whatever. Wait, I said that wrong. Always dislike the video. Always.
I do like DJ.
Every time.
DJ Academics. It's like, oh, it's your boy, subscribe. I can't do that.
It's your boy Academics. Alright, so subscribe if you like, comment. Always. Agree, disagree, let it be known. Donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box. Down there. Click that GoFundMe link and donate some money. Because healthcare, universal healthcare, Medicare for all, is not a human right. So we have to help each other out. So please donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link is down there. GoFundMe link. And with all that said, propaganda throwing links out there. No. Sorry, not tonight. With all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.